Alright, so to turn the grinder on, this is the main power. Will cut power to the VFD. This is your forward, stop, reverse. So this uses the VFD to brake. So if you turn the power on, you'll hear this slight whine. That's the VFD kicking on, and then this is the forward. Something is wrong, and then stop, reverse. So something's wrong. Oh wait, no. Forward. Speed.
Ah.
There we go. I do that a lot. Most knife makers won't have a reverse switch because
I'm the reverse, really.
It's so hard to get a grinder to track forward and reverse without having any sort of movement in the belt.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, Chad, CK Knife and Tool. Welcome back to the channel. How you doing? Hope this is finding you well. It's warm here in Eastern Washington. I'm here with Thaddeus. This guy was real mean because he told me, oh, it's a balmy, it's so cool, it's so nice and refreshing. It's warm out here. I'm not used to this. I'm a Western Washingtonian. I don't know how these guys survive. But anyhow, I'm with Thaddeus. His shirt speaks for himself. This is Black Fox. This guy is a knife grinder genius. This is my new knife grinder. And I wanted to introduce you all to Thaddeus because of the fact I came across you on Instagram.
Yep.
And it was amazing because I'm looking for a grinder. I've been shopping around for a grinder and I wanted to give myself something for my 10,000 subscribers that hopefully is going to do that sometime this year. Mm-hmm. And I also have been very busy and I found one grinder is not cutting it. Mm-hmm. So I needed a second grinder. Mm-hmm. But I'm seeing guys with grinders that rotate under axis.
Yep.
And did, basically horizontal grinding. And I need that. But they're huge.
Yeah.
They're these big VFDs, variable
frequency drives.
Frequency drive is variable speed drive, but variable frequency drive.
Yeah.
And it's a big box, and then it's this big grinder, and they're heavy and they're awkward, and they're a boatload of money, as we were talking earlier. And then I came across Thaddeus on Instagram, and I just reached out to him, and here I am, 6 months later or something like that, 7 months later. So it's been a long thing. It's been a long road to hoe. I've been very busy this year. And so is Thaddeus because he's designing and engineering all this himself. Mm-hmm. So Thaddeus, this is YouTube.
YouTube.
He's no stranger to YouTube. He's got it's Black Fox Knife Supplies?
Black Fox Knife Works.
Works,
it's a very basic channel, just basically done everything in my garage. I don't have a photography background, so it's very basic.
He knows more about photography than me, so that's not that much.
Learning.
And then you got the same thing with Instagram.
Yep.
Because that's how I learned about you there.
Yeah, we're more active on Instagram, somewhat on Facebook, but mainly on Instagram.
Now I know your backstory, but we'll tell everybody else. Mm-hmm. How did you get your start in, I guess, why a grinder?
Yeah, so I started knife making probably 3 years ago from a colleague. We're both engineers at a company here in Walla, Washington, and I just enjoyed knife making a lot. Being a mechanical engineer, that background of metallurgy and making something was really fascinating. So when I started the grinder search, probably about 4 years ago, I saw a lot of good options out there, but nothing that really did what I wanted it to do with my mechanical engineering background. I thought, I can make something that is more cost effective for people, as well as learn more about business and how to run a business and have fun with it. Really,
it's cool. And this is so small of a package and so clean and streamlined. I was commenting on this is his VFD right here. This little spot right here. It's amazing. And we got here early and we got to watch you assemble everything and put all of this together. And it was so cool. The design ideas that you came with. Different types of materials, not just metals, but different types of materials, and how you just use yourself as a sounding board with your background and knowing what would work good with this, and then kind of trial by error.
Yep. And
it just led to this, and it's so impressive what he came across this. Now there's something else that you dabble in. Okay, so not only does he have a full-time job, he's married. He has 20 dogs, five or six lizards, and
it's a zoo.
It's a zoo in there, and he does falconry, which I thought was cool. So, what led to that? How'd you get into that one?
So that was really led by my wife. She worked with raptors at WSU and the Rehabilitation Center, so she really liked working with them and hanging out with them and When we moved back to Eastern Washington from Seattle, we kind of had the opportunity, you know, more space, a little bit more house for your money here. And so we looked around and found a falconry sponsor in the area, and he decided to take us on. So we've been doing that for probably about 5 years now.
So it's so funny to hear. It's like talk about such a strange background.
Yeah.
And all this different stuff, and it's just, and again, things are meant to be a certain way because here you go off to college. Okay, you're closer to me.
Yep.
Okay, for school, and then you could probably get work out there with all the big companies that are out there.
Yep.
But yet you end up meeting your wife, get into falconry, come back to your hometown, and then find a falconry mentor for the most part.
Yeah.
It just all kind of just meshed. It all just kind of was meant to be. It was just meant for you to be here again.
Exactly.
It was meant for me to come over here and sweat.
Yeah.
In Eastern Washington. I'm melting away, everybody. I sound like a sissy now, don't I? But getting back to the grinder though, because that's what this is all about. You have a huge table, and what was this table made out of again?
This is called Pomacetal is the generic name, or it's called Delrin by 3M. It is a material that we use a lot in the food industry. That's my current background. We also use it in like UPS, where they do all their sliding packages. So it's a really nice sliding surface. It's not going to rust on you because it is a plastic material. It is a very hard and durable plastic material. Some people liken it to aluminum, but you get that added ability of being able to slide it. So when you're working on a knife or you have a jig on here, it just really makes it really easy to work with.
And if this table actually can rotate and go basically parallel with this flat platen, so you can grind like this, or better yet, well, let's show them. Why don't you show them what this does? This is amazing. It rotates. See what I mean, guys? This is what I meant about that. And then you can take this table off and spin it around, and it does that. So now you can work, granted it won't be this high, you guys know that, but you can do this and work all your edges, the belly, of your blade, your spine, everything, work it on here really nice. And if you're not doing knives, doing other types of metal fabricating, it gives you that perfect option. It's just amazing. And then also this can come off, and you can do, you can take the table off, you can take the platen off, you do 10-inch grinding wheels.
Yeah, we do grinding wheels, 10, 12, 14, smooth and serrated in all those dimensions. We do a surface grinder. We're working on a few other attachments that will come out at Blade Show West this year in 2019. So yeah, just having a lot of fun with it. Man,
Blade Show West, I'm not going to be there, gang. I can't do it, but he's going to be there. So you're going to have to look him out if you're going to watch this and be there. Check it out at Portland, right?
Yep, Portland.
Portland, Oregon this year. That's going to be great. Your motor.
Yes.
That's impressive.
Yep.
Because that's a Leeson.
It's a Leeson, yep, 2 horsepower motor, runs 36 RPM, 3600 RPM. Since working in a large manufacturer, we have I get a lot of good contacts with motor suppliers, so we get a pretty good deal on this, and it works really well with the VFD. I know a lot of you guys are technical out there, so this is a premium efficiency motor, and that's the only way you could pair it with a chassis small enough to fit it in the base. Something like a standard ball door draws too much power, but these premium efficient motors are perfect for that.
And this can be ran, you got it wired right now for 110. Oh no, you got 220. No, 110.
110, yeah.
Okay, so we're right for 110 right now, so I'm going to have to either leave it at 110 or figure out how to do 220.
Yep.
So you can do it either way, just like Frankenstein that I got at the shop when I first got it, it was 110. And then I switched it over to 220. Actually, my electrician buddy, Kurt, I know you're watching this. Guess what you're going to have to do, pal? You're going to have to help me with this. He came over and he helped me switch it over to 220.
Perfect.
And we did all that stuff. But I already got 110 set to the side. I could use it for right now. And then I can convert it over. Since I already have the spare 220 that I could probably use.
Yep.
But anything else you want to talk about? Because there's so much with the compactedness of the body, the fact that the VFD is in here, the motor is amazing, direct drive, mine's belt, old fashioned. I learned from Jeff. Sorry, Jeff, but it's a little old school there, buddy. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You got to remove a link every couple of years because the belt just gets stretched and.
Yeah, so less moving parts. Just the really simplicity of design is what you want to look for when you buy really anything. How simple is it to use, to maintain? So I've really tried to strip everything down to where it's as simple as possible. Reduces cost that way and makes it a better user experience.
Now, folks wanting this, what are they going to do?
You can go on our website, blackfoxknifeworks.com, or find us on Instagram at blackfoxknifeworks there as well.
Okay, it's just basically put in your shopping cart and just go and just check out, and that's it?
Yep. Right now we use a website that only allows us to do flat rate shipping, so if you want an actual quote for shipping, just email us. We can send you quotes through email with the exact number. Otherwise, it'll charge $180 for shipping, and then if it comes out less, I'll refund you.
Okay, well that's cool. Anything like any key factors that you'd want to say? Like if somebody's getting into grinders that I had a couple of guys that have been following me. I talked with them. They're new knife makers. Even as a hobbyist, I think this would be really good as a hobbyist because it's not just for knives.
Exactly. Yep.
So what would you say for for other people if they're sitting around looking at other competitors? Why I know now why you versus others, because not only have I been here for the last 3-4 hours and we're going through everything, but watching you assemble it and talking about the materials. But for them, because the video's not going to be that big, what could you tell them? Why this versus some of those other competitors? What do you think sets you apart?
What really sets us apart, I think, are a couple things. First is the dry plate. We use a really heavy-duty dry plate. That way, if you flip it in horizontal or vertical, it doesn't rotate on you or sag the dry plate. Because this motor is about 50 pounds, so you need something really strong that doesn't do that. We designed it all with a single reference surface, which means that as you add components to that reference surface, your manufacturing tolerances can skew the grinder tracking. And we've designed this such that the tracking in forward and reverse is pretty much dead on. Once you get that, you're good to go. A lot of manufacturers, I talk to guys at Blade Show that say, we don't even provide reverse because, as you know, it's really hard to get it in reverse. It is really hard to get forward and reverse tracking out of a grinder.
And this one's so smooth.
Yeah, very smooth. Yeah.
You turned it on, and as soon as you wanted to switch it from forward to reverse, it just stopped it. Yeah. Instead of killing the power, you just flip to the neutral. You put it in stop right there.
Yeah.
And this motor just stopped instantly.
Yep.
And then it would go back and forth, forward, reverse so smoothly.
Yeah.
And the power was impressive.
Yes.
That's I've been making knives for a better part of 5 years, and old Frankenstein doesn't do more than 1,700 RPM. Yeah. This is 36.
Yeah, 36. The 5-inch driveway.
Oh man,
it cruises. And then as you build your skills in knife making, you can start off with a dedicated vertical grinder. You could totally do that. You could even do 1x32 or belts and work your way up. But once you get into more knives and you start making more knives and you want to get better, more efficient, tool changeover time between grinder to grinder can be your next step to where you try to optimize and bring that cost down. So by providing a grinder that is two-purpose, horizontal and vertical, you can save money by not having two grinders while having a little bit more tool changeover time because you're not just flipping from one to the other. But it still gives a really good cost-effective way of getting into profiling, flip it over, grinding your bevels, and away you go. And
you got we can buy an extra arm like I was talking about. So I got to get an extra arm because I'm getting a contact wheel from you. You used to do the same thing, extra arm, so you do small contact wheels. Yep. For like when I do guys, you've seen when I make the grinding, when I'm doing grinding videos, you'll see how the belt goes to almost like a point. That's my small contact wheels. So you could do everything on this. And rotate it, which is really cool. So, and you recommended, like you were asking before about the bench, the workstation I'm going to build on. So I said wood. Yeah. That would probably be a really good option for that because the wood's going to absorb some more of that energy, wouldn't it? Yeah. So on my website, I've done a full technical of vibrations for design. So go check that out because it's a lot more explanation I think I'm going to do here than a lot more in the weeds. Yeah. Like with how you designed this to begin with. Exactly. Yeah. All the vibration stuff. That's really cool. I mean, the guys that might be really into this kind of stuff, reach out to Thaddeus. Contact him, talk with him, email him. He can go through all that stuff now. But I'm impressed. And the other reason why, guys, I like to support the small businesses. He's here in Washington State. And that was another big thing when we talked months ago. I'm like, okay, I could go to these other grinder companies and businesses and have them mailed to me, but I drove all out here. I drove out here. We're staying out in the tent and everything. We drove out here because I wanted to meet him. I wanted to do a video. I want to promote the business. He makes knives. You could say you're a competitor, but I mean, this is amazing. Give credit where credit's due, guys. It's a small world. And instead of, as we were mentioning, I've come across some guys that are very defensive or very combative when it comes to the knife industry.
Yeah.
But you've got to, I mean, you make different knives than I do.
Mm-hmm.
You do different things. This is a huge niche that you have that's going to help me, help my son, it's going to help other knife makers. And that's why you have, that's why I wanted to showcase Thaddeus, because I think this is important. And I think building the relationships and the friendships within the knife community is important, because there might be something I don't understand. I'm going to reach out to you. I'm going to reach out to Mike at Ecom Knives. Okay, I might reach out to Will Stetler or Alec.
Yep.
And I'm just like, hey guys, what about this? You know, like, that our Seattle buddy, Forge.
Dave Tuthill.
Yeah, Dave Tuthill. I'm sorry, Dave. I just only chatted with you a little bit on Instagram.
Yeah.
But another guy, really nice guy. Just a quick little chat I had. You want to keep it that. You want to keep that tight community. You want to talk like that. Yes, at the end, we're knife makers. We're trying to compete for a customer, but it shouldn't be a cutthroat industry.
No. Yeah.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
You know, it should be something that we can all get along and learn from each other.
Yeah.
Because there's so many guys that don't know certain things about knives, like you do. You like the business aspect. You want to learn more about that. And I want to learn more about this. And I want to learn just how to be a better knife maker for my customers.
Yeah.
What can I do that I'm not doing now to give my end user, my customer, a better knife at the end, or even faster?
Yeah.
And I think this will do that.
Yeah.
So, so gang, thank you. Appreciate it. Remember, like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. Keep me from the bottom of the YouTube bucket.
Yeah.
Thaddeus, thank you very much, sir.
Thanks for
Appreciate
coming
all the hospitality as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and sit down on the couch for a little while, and Thaddeus is going to go load this in the truck. So I'll see you guys later.